Hello everyone and welcome to a showcase video of this storage system that I call the Simple Survival Storage. And yeah, this is the storage system I'm using in my single player survival world. And yeah, I will explain it a little bit better. But yeah, first of all, I need to say the problems with this system, right? And the biggest problem is if you unload the chunks while the items are getting filtered, the system can break, especially the part that uses minecarts here for categorizer storage, right? Multi-item storage. So yeah, let me explain each part of the system and then we showcase the whole system working. So these two wings here of the system are just simple item sorters, right? That sort one type of item. So for example, here we have sea lanterns, here we have quartz, here we have crying obsidian and iron blocks, right? And as you can see here, behind here in the headstone, the top part here is impulse item filter, right? Exactly the same, right? And the bottom one is a little bit different because we have a block between the hopper and the comparator here. So here we need two comparators, right? And yeah, the reason I'm using two comparators instead of one repeater is because two comparators have the same delay as one repeater on one tick, right? And the comparators are a little bit less laggy, right? Yeah, and as you can see, we are using water strings here, and sometimes we use pickles, sometimes we use chests, right, to align the items, right, or honey blocks through. So yeah, the water strings are, I guess, pretty much the standard water strings you see in every storage system, right? And this other part here is bulk storage that uses 6 double chests. So yes, for example, here we have diorite, granite, right, other stuff. And when I get a lot of something, I just put them in shulker boxes and put here manually. And yeah, the reason why I'm using chests instead of shulker box loaders, like I used in my previous systems, is because I realized I actually didn't really use the shulker box loaders that much, because most of the time I would come like from a mining section, for example, with 5 shulker boxes full of stone and one shulker box with other stuff, right, mixed with granite, diorite, dirt, whatever. So I would just mix the shulker box to the system, and the 5 shulker box of stone I would just come to the chest of the shulker box loader where the full chests were and input the chests there manually, because it's much easier and faster, right? Yeah, so yeah, the downside of doing this is that you do more manual work, but the upside is that it's actually faster, right? Any player is faster than any storage system, right? And another good side of this is you have a whole bunch of empty shulker boxes left. So here, for example, I have 3 double chests, and I have 3 more double chests in another place, my survive world, full of empty shulker boxes, just because I changed it from using shulker box loaders to chests, right? So for example, here we would have like 5 double chests of diorite, so that would be 10 of these boxes here, right? Yeah, and if we look at the headstone behind this bulk storage, you can see that it kind of looks like a regular filter, but it's not really, right? Except for this last one, it's kind of a pretty normal filter because it would interfere here, and I would have done this one slice over, but I chose to do this to make it a little bit more compact. And also this one I showed before, instead of using two comparators in this last slice I need to use a repeater here, because when this composer that's from this part of the system comes down, it would interfere with this part. But yeah, the way this works is when this signal strength here gets to level 3, it would power this block, and yeah, would quasi-connective power this piston. That's why we have a note block here just to update the piston, and it would push the block the composer down here, and the comparator would read the composer, and we have 4 ticks of delay here, just so we have more delay for the items to come from this hopper here all the way down to the next, or to the last hopper here. And as you can see, these torches are locking all these hoppers, and the reason for that is to reduce lag, because when the hoppers are locked they don't check for items on top of them, right, or on the container on top of them, so this reduces a lot of lag. Yeah, in this particular system here, the only hoppers that are not really locked are the hoppers that are on the water strings here, and of course in this first slice that we are not using these, we have a few more hoppers unlocked. But as you can see here, my MSPT is really low. In my previous system I would always get like 15-20 MSPT, and the lower this is, the less lag you have, so yeah, it is much less laggier here. Okay, so the last part of the system is this categorizer here. This idea was first introduced by Maizuma Games, right? But this version here is a modified version from MetaMilo's design. So I will leave both links in the description if you want to see this in more detail. I'm just going to talk about the modifications I made, right? So the first modification here, as you can see, is this torch tower, similar to the one I showed there, to lock the hoppers for less lag, just the same idea, right? And also we are using water strings, right, instead of using a hopper line. And the advantage of using water strings is because it's faster. For example, here you can see the minecart line here, the rail line that the minecart goes back. And in MetaMilo's design, he uses observers to flash these rails so the minecart goes slower. But here we don't need to use because the water strings are faster, right? And there is a problem with water strings, that is the hoppers have a delay. So if you are sending a bunch of items, they won't all get inside the hopper, right? Because of the delay the hoppers have to get new items, right? So what we do here is we push these glass panes here to stop the items, right? And using the same torch tower here we used, and yeah, when we select this line here, the category that is on the water source here, we use this dispenser here, so this observer detects this node block getting powered and removes the water, and when the filter gets back to the chest, right, the filter item gets back to the chest, this water gets dispensed again. And when we get to this slice here, the torch tower simply powers this ice block and locks or unpower the ice block and closes the fence gate here, so the items stop here on top of this hopper. And another thing that I do different from MetaMilo is that in his design, because the way the minecart here system works, he doesn't use items that stack to 16 like banners, for example. But here I'm using, and I'm gonna explain why, but the important thing here is when you place a banner here, you have to remove 4 papers. So for example, let me see a color of banner I don't have here. Head banner, for example. Okay, so for example, let's say I also want to filter head banners. If I simply put one head banner here and remove one item, it won't work because look at that observer there. When we remove one item here, that observer should go back, but it doesn't go, right? But yeah, when we remove a banner, it goes because the banner inputs a bigger signal. But in this case, we broke the filter here for the items that stack to 64. So when we input an item that stacks to 16, you actually need to remove 4 of these filter items here, these temporary items, right? So now it will work when we remove a banner and when we remove a carpet, right? And yeah, there is no problem in having empty spaces here, right? I like to fill all the spaces because then it's easier. Let's say, for example, here I also want to sort ender chests, so I can just come here and do this. So I replace the temporary item with an ender chest, right? But yeah, there is 2 things that I don't really remember if MetaMilo or Cass said in their videos, but there's 2 important things about this storage system here that actually already happened to me and broke my system. And the first one is you can't have the same item in 2 categories. So for example, let's say I have pink glazed terracotta here, and I also put pink glazed terracotta in this other category. Yeah, that will break the system because when the minecart comes here, and he has pink terracotta there, he will grab this one and this one, so he will empower both of these systems here. And yeah, the problem is this won't actually break the system, but the pink terracotta will come to this one and never come to this one, right? So it's not really that you break the system, but it's just that you have a filter that will never actually be used, right? But yeah, another big problem that this one is really big and really breaks your system is, let's say for example here I'm sorting the stations, and let's say for example I want to sort crafting tables, but I'm already sorting crafting tables, but let's say that I didn't see this and I come here and do this. This is a big problem because the next time the minecart comes here with a crafting table, he will actually remove both crafting tables, but when the minecart comes back, it will only give back one crafting table, and this slice here will be unpowered. As you can see here, the torches are unpowered, right? And yeah, this one happened to be the water one, so it will be unpowered all the time, which means that if you select an item from these filters here, they will actually come here, right? Yeah, because the other crafting table, it will actually be inside the hoppers still, the droppers down there still. So yeah, you can't get this. So the way I do to avoid this is, for example, I wanna sort crafting tables here. The first thing I try to do is shift click. Oh, I see that I already sorting, so I just remove that and don't really sort crafting tables because I'm already sorting, right? But let's say for example that I want to sort item frames in here. I'm shifting clicking, it's not going there, so it means I don't have in here. So I can come here and sort now, right? Okay, so after that long explanation, let's test the system. So first I'm gonna test one of these regular filters here, and I'm gonna test this one with the prismarine bricks. So let me just put here to get the items here, and I'm gonna input this shulker box that has 6 prismarine bricks. So we can put in any of these hoppers here. Let's go to spectator. Yeah, so you can see the items go like just 1 pixel on top of the hoppers. Okay, they come down here. Okay, they go to the next one here. And they should come to this one. And the filter is this one, I think. Yeah, so you can see they are entering the filter here, and we got all 6 here, right? And yeah, after you have an empty shulker box here, you can press this button and it will remove the shulker box for you. And yeah, actually, let's show the unstackable filter. I guess we can input a shulker box here, and you see this will turn on, right? And yeah, but we get an iron hole here, and the reason is because the unstackable filter here always keep one item here. To solve this, you can just put another hopper under this one, and yeah, I guess you would need to move this dropper down 1 block. I think maybe it's possible without interfering to the other circuit here, but yeah, I don't really mind it too much, one item getting stuck here. If I accidentally, for example, place the important shulker box there and I want it back, I just get the iron hole or whatever and put it back here, and my shulker box will come back here for me. Yeah, now let's test one of these bulk storage, and here we have the headstone one. So let's try to put a stack and see if we get a stack here, right? Yeah, so you can see it will go through the water streams, right? And yeah, the reason why I like to use the ender chests here when we have these soul sand elevators is because sometimes if you are using pickles, the items sometimes go over the top of the pickles and they get aligned to the other wall, not to the hoppers here. So yeah, that's why I like using ender chests here. And yeah, they are getting there. Going down here and getting to here and getting to the filter, and as you can see we have power 3 here, so it's powering this piston here and unpowering the torches, right? Unlocking the hoppers, and I guess we got everything. Yeah, it powers back the hoppers and we got the whole stack here. Okay, now I'm gonna put this shulker box here that has some items that we already see that has a filter, and all these other items don't have a specific filter, but these ones here have a category, and this the dragon head and the enchanted golden apple don't have a category, so they should get to this here, that's the unsorted items, right? And the ones that have categories, I removed the first line here just to be easier to see they coming here, right? And I'm also using some banners that stack to 16. Just to show you guys that this system does work with stack of 16 when they are not full stacks, right? So for example here the head banner will get to the shulker box, to the categorizer, right? And this one won't get sorted, so they will get to this unsorted chest here, even though we are sorting them here. Because when they are full stacks, the minecart can't get the filter item, right? So yeah, let's input this here and try to see the system working. So yeah, first of all we are getting the prismarine. They will stop on this filter here, right? And the other items should pass all the hoppers, right? And get to the minecarts there, to the categorizers. Yeah, so the prismarine are getting to the filter and the items will go all the way to the minecart there. So the minecart will already go, and the other items will stack up here while the minecart goes through this. So this first item is in the other side of the categorizer, so it will pass to the other side here and get picked up by this minecart, as you can see. And it already selected the category. That's actually this one, right? And yeah, the trap chests will get through here. And this one is selecting which one? Okay, so it selected this category here, that I think is the phantom membranes. Yeah. Oh, okay. That is actually a problem. It passed too fast. The stuff here. So yeah, the ones that stop with the glass pane works. That one, yes, it was too slippery with the ice. Next one is banners. Yeah, so these one are the 16 banners, so they didn't get select, right? And does the head banners already came? Yeah, the head banners are already here. Yeah, so yeah, we got one phantom membrane as we saw. They passed it through the ice here. And yeah, these ones are other categorizer. And I guess we are probably getting the dragon heads now. Yeah, the banners are getting there. Probably next item that will come is the rabbit hide, right? Yeah, let's see this category. Let's see if this one doesn't pass. Yeah, this one got here. Yeah, so I guess that is a little bit of a flaw. I guess you could fix that by either trying to remove the water and then moving glass pane here, right, with a piston from the top, but I don't know, I don't think that's too much of a big problem, but I don't know. The worst case scenario is you just, like, these categories here, you just remove them, right? So place another pillar of parts here, right? But yeah, other than this phantom membrane that got through the ice, we got everything that we expected here, right? So yeah, guys, as you saw, it does have some problems, right? And other problems that I also had is like if I'm putting a chest that has like 10 stacks of prismarine blocks, for example, sometimes 1 or 2 or 3 items pass too fast for the hoppers and they get through all the system and we will end up here. Yeah, that's like I said, that only happens when you input like a large amount of the same item sequence, right? Because then the hopper delay interferes with the items coming through, right? But generally when that happens, like for example here, I got this fatal membrane that I know it should have been filtered, right? If I'm not feeling too lazy, I just come here and place here, but if I'm feeling too lazy, for example, if it's a category that's all the way there, or if it's an item filter that's all the way there, just input here and the next time it will probably get picked up, right? And yeah, another problem that I had is these minecarts here, they have a specific amount of items here, right? These renamed items for the filters that we also need one here and another filter item here with 41, 1 and 1 and another iron nugget filter here, right? And sometimes these get messed up, but I'm pretty sure that the times this got messed up, it was because I left the chunks or unloaded the chunks before the system was over with filtering everything, right? So yeah, don't unload the chunks, I guess. Yeah, also I have this Ender storage system here. So you put here shulker boxes that you keep in your Ender chest, right? And you need to have 2 of every shulker box. So you will have 1 in your Ender chest, and then you go somewhere and you do a project and use some stuff, right? And then you come back here with your shulker box, get a full one, and input this other one here that will get refilled, right? Because here we have 5 hoppers pointing to the shulker box, as you can see. And in this chest you can put more items, right? And I saw this on Ito's lab channel, right? And yeah, I'm still getting used to this because it took me like 3 days to fill all these chests, and some of them are not actually filled yet, right? For example, I think the concrete one, yeah, I have some of the concrete powder, but yeah, here I'm supposed to have some solid concrete, and I have none because I still don't have a concrete machine, right? So yeah, it does take a lot of work to use this, so I'm not completely sure yet if I'm keeping this. Yeah, what I'm doing in my survival world is I'm doing a test, right, with these items here, and when 1.17 comes, even if I still keeping these, I will need to change the items. So yeah, when 1.17 comes, if I still think this is worth it, I will keep and change some items for the new ones, right? And maybe removing some items that I'm not really using. But yeah, otherwise I'm just gonna not use these, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. One cool thing is that because I'm using sea lanterns here, the shulker boxes look like they are light sources, right? Especially the brighter ones like yellow and white. Okay guys, so as you saw, the system is obviously not perfect, but overall I think it's much better than my old storage, right? Not only because it's way less laggier, but also because I think it's really worth it to have a multi-item sorting. There is other types of multi-item sorting. In Metamilo's channel, he has another one that uses droppers and hoppers and it's faster than this one, right? but yeah, I like it, this one because it's much easier to build and to set the filters here. In my opinion, I think this one is easier also to understand, right? And yeah, especially now that Minecraft updates pretty much twice a year, and every update they add 100 new items, right? I mean, just in the 1.17 snapshots, if you look at the copper variants, there is like full block, slab, and stair for all the oxidized states, and there is waxed and not waxed, right? So yeah, there is a lot of new items, so it's really worth having a multi-item sorter. Yeah, and also I think I forgot to show you guys, but the way I know where the items are is I use this chest here, and yeah, so for example, these three first rows are the top rows here. So the first row is these 9 chests here, the second one is those 9 chests, and the third one is there, right? And the 3 bottom rows here are the bottom there. So let's give you an example here. So for example, let's say I want pumpkins. So I know it's the third row and the 8th item. So it's gonna be on top here, the third row here, and the 8th item, right? And let's say here, for example, let's say we want sunflowers. So it's on the bottom, right? Because it's on the 3 bottom rows here, the second row on the bottom, and the 8th item. So second row here, the 8th item is here. Yeah, we don't have any sunflowers, but yeah, we can see here in the filter, right? And yeah, some of the items I already memorized, right? Because as you use these, you know, it's stone, cobblestone, dirt, quartz, for example. I think here is insects, right? And I think here is bamboo. No, here is bamboo, yeah. So, you know, you roughly know everything where it is. I think it's better this way than, you know, using a bunch of different blocks or a bunch of item frames, right? For the categorizer, I'm using item frames because it's harder to represent a whole category with only one chest, but you could do that, right? You could, yes, place a chest somewhere here, maybe remove this stuff here, and yeah, place a chest and represent the categories here. But yeah, I rather just use item frames for this. So I hope this showcase helped you guys in some ways, right? If you want to build this exactly same storage, there is a world download in the description. But maybe you just wanna use some of the ideas here and there, right? For your own storage, right? To build your own storage. And yeah, I hope this helps you guys. And I see you guys in the next video. Bye!